Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is Friday Night Smackdown across the world from where we just were for ECW. We're in Sydney, Australia, as Smackdown once again goes overseas to do a show or something, I don't know. But anyway, we are here in front of many Australians because I believe this might be our first ever visit to Australia within this universe, and it is going to be one interesting night indeed. Later on tonight we have for you Mark Henry going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura made his debut on the Smackdown brand last week, and upon making his debut defeated the WWE champion in non-title action, and by the end of the night Shinsuke Nakamura could be the #1 contender. However, Bobby Fish has laid out another open challenge for anyone to pick up to. However, this time he says he doesn't want it to be someone who is drafted in, but rather someone who remained on SmackDown's brand. While that does leave it up to a lot of people to go up against Bobby Fish, we will have to wait until the end of the night to find out who that is. But we're going to kick things off on this episode of SmackDown with an interesting little mini tournament to determine the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. A mini tournament, as the SmackDown committee put it, to determine the #1 contender for the for Brock Lesnar's Intercontinental Championship, might I add. The idea of this being tonight we'll have a fatal 4-way. The loser of that gets eliminated. Next week we have a triple threat. The loser of that gets eliminated. And then 2 weeks from now we'll have a one-on-one match between two people, two of the people surviving in this matchup, to determine who will meet Brock Lesnar at SmackDown's next exclusive pay-per-view, still some 4 weeks away from now. So it's all well and good for Friday Night SmackDown. They've still got plenty of time to try and sort this whole little situation out. Nevertheless, we are seeing here that we're starting off with Jay Lethal heading into the ring. He's in the ring actually. Jay Lethal, who was drafted over in the televised draft to Friday Night SmackDown. He was one of SmackDown's final picks, I think, of the night of the draft. So I believe so. Don't quote me on that one. He may have come through in ECW. Oh, here we go. Here comes another person who came through, this time in the supplemental draft. Damien Sandow, the former United States champion. I said about how Sandow did deserve a rematch in the future for that US title. He, of course, didn't get the opportunity for it because he got drafted over to SmackDown. So now here he is, though, on this brand, and Sandow could have an opportunity at Brock Lesnar. The problem is I don't know the format in this matchup right now, but they've got to fight Brock Lesnar. And I'm not trying to be offensive to Jay Lethal, I'm not trying to be offensive to Damien Sandow, but I don't think right now either of these two are enough to take out the beast, Brock Lesnar. We all saw what he did to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. We all know he's capable of doing it again. So we'll see what's going to happen regarding that. And alright, here we go. The Swiss Superman Cesaro, also drafted in the televised draft. Actually, the match he lost, he was drafted in. He got pinned, and he ended up being the draft pick to leave ECW in that same match. So Cesaro comes towards the ring here. So far, it's 3 out of 3 when it comes to draft picks in this matchup. Cesaro heads towards the ring. I think Cesaro could give him a big fight. I think Cesaro could really put up a fight against the beast. Because the thing is, you got to remember with Cesaro is while he isn't as strong as Brock Lesnar, you know, where he doesn't look as big as Brock Lesnar, he is, as I've said time and time again, pound for pound, one of the greatest, one of the strongest wrestlers there is on this roster. And that is without a shadow of a doubt. We all know the strength that Cesaro possesses. So with that being said, it's now all down to who will be the fourth and final man in this matchup. It's currently looking like it's going to be a draft pick, to be honest, considering the amount of draft picks we've had show up. And it is. It's a man who also made his debut last week. It's going to be the Demon King. It is the two-time World Heavyweight Champion, Finn Bálor, is heading into this fatal 4-way. Finn Bálor, who made his debut last week, defeated Roman Reigns in one-on-one competition, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. And now, here tonight, Bálor looks to continue on some kind of momentum on SmackDown. Build some kind of momentum as a kind of building blocks to the foundation of Finn Bálor on SmackDown. He's already defeated, like I said last week, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. If he was to get closer and closer and closer to getting that opportunity against Brock Lesnar, once again, I honestly think Finn Bálor actually stands the strongest chance of doing it. Cesaro's tough, but he can give in to a lot of punishment. Sandow and Lethal, I just don't think possess the strength needed to take it to Brock Lesnar. Finn Bálor has the demon. That is the difference maker right there. Finn Bálor, when he shows up in a big match, pay-per-view scenario or situation, the demon is there. And that's what you have to watch out for. Hello, Jay Lethal. When you see the demon in action, you have to watch out for him. He has defeated Mark Henry as the demon. He has defeated former world champions as the demon. I will leave it at that. He has defeated countless incredible superstars as the demon. I'll name some others for you. Daniel Bryan, Sting, Triple H, Tyson Kidd, even the world heavyweight champion right now, Tyler Breeze, has been defeated by the demon on more than one occasion. Therefore, the demon is what you have to watch out for, and I think Finn Bálor can make it through here. I think he will get into the one-on-one situation, and I believe Finn Bálor, I'm going to say it right now, I think Finn Bálor will go all the way in this one. I think he'll go all the way. He'll go to Brock Lesnar, and I think he's going to put up one hell of a fight against the Beast. The Beast versus the Demon. What a matchup that could be. Nevertheless, what do we have on tap you here tonight? Well, after this, we have a women's matchup for you, involving, if memory serves me correct, it is the women of, let me just remember correctly, I think it is Bayley going one-on-one with Summer Rae. Summer Rae, a former women's champion within this universe during the previous iteration of the women within this universe. Summer Rae was actually quite a dominant women's champion in her own right as well. Held the championship on 2 occasions, both times for a number of days. Facebuster there by Finn Bálor on the outside, and then we've already talked about the advertised matchups, but before that, we are going to witness the new member, Kevin Owens last week, showing off his newest Future Shock member of Kota Ibushi, finally being drafted to a brand. However, this time, tonight, he says there is the other member to unveil. There is one other man who is set to make his debut as a part of Friday Night SmackDown and making his debut when it comes to the Future Shock faction. Kevin Owens says we'll be seeing that later on tonight. He will be going one-on-one with Razor Ramon. And then, of course, we have the Mark Henry Shinsuke Nakamura match and Bobby Fish's open challenge taking place for a second week in a row. In the ring right now, Finn Bálor trying to get rid of Jay Lethal, trying to eliminate him from this competition. There's the cover, and it's only a 1 count. All 4 men in this matchup have held a championship. Cesaro, the only Triple Crown champion in this matchup. However, Jay Lethal has held the United States Championship and Cruiserweight Championship, as has Damien Sandow. Cesaro, meanwhile, a Triple Crown champion over on ECW. ECW Television Champion, 2-time ECW Tag Team Champion, and, of course, former ECW Champion Finn Bálor. Only member not to win a mid-card championship, as he is just the 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, but then again a 2-time World Champion, holding the belt on 2 separate occasions, and having strong reigns in both of them kind of shows the man that Finn Bálor is, as he gets a cover year on him by Lethal. Able to kick out early on, though. This match, I think, just in its infancy, and I think with 4 strong competitors that you see in the ring right now, it's going to be a bit more difficult for this matchup to come to an end early on. Finn Bálor there with a nice counter. Sandow and Cesaro really been going at it on the outside there. Nice drop kick by Finn Bálor. Cover outside by Sandow. Looking to get Cesaro eliminated from this tournament. Then it's a 2 count. Cesaro had gone out then. That would have been very interesting. to say the least. Imagine Cesaro going out in the first round. What a surprise that would be. Finn Bálor now loading up in position. Has Jay Lethal right where he wants him. Oh, shotgun drop kick by Finn Bálor, who looks to head up to the top rope and eliminate Jay Lethal early on here. Finn Bálor in position. Has Lethal on the ground. Coup de grace by Finn Bálor. And into the cover goes the Demon King. There's 2. And oh! Lethal gets the shoulder up at 2 there. I think just a little bit too early in this matchup maybe. While he was able to nail that coup de grace, I don't think enough had been done to Jay Lethal to make sure that there was a 3 count in place. Setting him down there with a reverse STO. Jay Lethal now looks like he may have something in mind, but at the same time, so does Cesaro by that table. There is the neutralizer. Meanwhile, in the ring, Jay Lethal, lethal injection to Bálor. The cover here by Cesaro to eliminate Sandow, and oh no, it's a 2 count. Cesaro and Lethal going for each other right about now. Could have been a chance to pin Finn Bálor in the ring off of that lethal injection. Just think Jay Lethal had his eye off the prize there for whatever reason and decided he wanted to take care of Cesaro. This match rages on. You roll up way in the hidden in the corner is Finn Bálor rolling up Sandow, looking for the elimination here. Sandow kicks out at 2 and flips over into a cover of his own. He's resting his leg on the announce table. Extra leverage. Oh, Bálor kicks out at 2. Sandow now moving over. He wants to get his eye on what's going on between Lethal and Cesaro. What is going on between Lethal and Cesaro is incredible strength possessed by the Swiss Superman. Incoming triple deadlift gut wrench suplexes for Jay Lethal. And meanwhile, Finn Bálor pulls out the reversal there. Cesaro just kind of looking down at Jay Lethal right now. Very awkward as Sandow launches Finn Bálor back into the ring there. We're going to at least have a match resuming in the ring. A match resuming out of it. Finn Bálor, nice forearm in the face there. Try to turn around Damien Sandow. May have been thinking about a potential usage of the... Oh, that was very nearly a 3 count there. I was thinking a potential usage of the bloody hell, but that was not to be. Damien Sandow has a close eye on the action on the outside for some reason. Not too sure why. Finn Bálor not very impressed by that and lands a massive dropkick on the outside. Onto Damien Sandow. Jay Lethal trying to pick up the pieces here as Finn Bálor gets launched head first into that ring post. Cesaro now looking to try and take an initiative. Good camera work here that we can see this. Cesaro, big boot into the ring post. Watch the replay of this. Oh, Finn Bálor set for such a daze. He didn't know where to land there. I think he landed on Sandow. Sandow was able to roll out of the way slightly, but Finn Bálor, his jaw must be rocking in pain there. And it's not as if it's the first time we've seen Cesaro use methods like that, because he always used to rely upon the Swiss death in order to pick up the win and subsequently take out superstars through breaking their jaw. Jay Lethal now going after Finn Bálor temporarily before returning to his battle with Cesaro. Oh, Russian leg sweep into the barricade. That's a new one. All 4 men going out on the outside here. Complete calamity. No one making a cover right now. Lethal sent into the ring post by Sandow. Sandow into the cover on Lethal. Will Jay Lethal be the first one eliminated? Cesaro and Bálor are down. No, Lethal at it too. Back in the ring, Cesaro and Finn Bálor go. At least a little bit more sense has been brought to the match. At least we can tell somewhat what's going on. Cesaro, look at that. Look at that T-bone suplex there by Cesaro into an incredible bridging cover for 1, 2, no, just a 1 count. And all 4 men, it seems, are returning back to the ring. Cesaro now has Finn Bálor. Will he look for the triple deadlift Germans? No, he just sends him for 1. Nasty landing though for Bálor. Sandow and Lethal were in the ring for a cup of coffee. Sandow on the outside looking for some kind of DDT. Jay Lethal stuffs it in the ring. Finn Bálor with Cesaro and the 1916. Finn Bálor planting Cesaro into the mat there. 1916 on to Cesaro. Will the Triple Crown champion be eliminated first off? There's two. There's no. That was very, very close to being Cesaro's the first elimination, and he's still somewhat struggling to continue to fight here on the inside, I should say, against Finn Bálor. Here we go, finally reverses a move, and we may see something here. DDT on the outside there by Sandow, really planted lethal, and he's looking for some kind of cover here. Referee, not able to see it. Cesaro going to go to the outside. I swear to God, Cesaro, if you interrupt it, you are dead to me. There's two, and oh, it's a kick out by lethal. Finn Bálor launches himself onto Cesaro. Corkscrew cross body there by the two-time world champion. Lethal, I think, planted down Damien Sandow there with one of his signature maneuvers, but in the same process, planted himself down on the mat. Meanwhile, back in the ring right now, Finn Bálor and Cesaro having a bit of back and forth here. Cesaro nails that T-bone again. Another bridge from it. Beautiful bridge by Cesaro. There's one, and it's only a one count. Damien Sandow now goes into the pin. Referee having to quickly cover this. There's one, there's two, and three. Damien Sandow picks up the win. And that means Jay Lethal is eliminated from this little mini tournament to determine the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Sandow, on his first match in this universe, well, back on Smackdown really for the first time in years now, Sandow picks up a strong win and looks as if he could be the dark horse now in amongst the two favorites to win it. Congratulations to Sandow there for getting the win. Bálor and Cesaro stay strong though by not taking the pinfall, but commiserations to Jay Lethal, who drops out first in this tournament. Well, there you go. Next week, triple threat match between Cesaro, Bálor and Sandow. Winner of that, and the person not pinned, of course, will go one-on-one 2 weeks from now, where the winner of that will face Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental Championship. Nice job there by Sandow, and now we're going to move on to our next contest, Summer Rae versus Bayley. Alright, well, following that fatal four-way, we now move on to women's action, Summer Rae and Bayley. One-on-one here, with, of course, the women's division. Alright, Bayley just doesn't give a shit, apparently. Bayley is literally refusing to give a shit. Bayley, the rules! The rules! What has happened to you, Bayley? What happened to the whole hug life, everything's happy thing? What? Well, Bayley, who was supposed to be, you know, all about happy and loving and caring, has just blindsided Summer Rae, clearly indicating that the happy-go-lucky lifestyle just doesn't do it for you, because, you know, why would it? Look at the New Day. They're going to fail this weekend and Unforgiven. And look at Bayley right now. She's abandoned it in an attempt to blindside Summer Rae. I was going to say nice things about you, Bayley, but that is a pig ignorant attitude to take into a match. Blindsiding your opponent who you already had a strong enough opportunity to defeat. That is not good. That is not, just not okay. For that, I hope Summer Rae makes you pay. And there's Summer Rae knocking, I hope. Anyway, knocking Bayley out with an enziguri. I was going to claim that Summer Rae is one of the most underrated women's talents there is within our universe. I think I'm almost 100% sure she's a two-time women's champion. She's not someone you can overlook within that ring. Her physique certainly helps her out. Those long, nimble legs of hers certainly help her gain an advantage over her opponents. And for whatever reason, Bayley is just interested in blindsiding her, apparently. Bayley there with a snap suplex. Perhaps Bayley trying to show that she's ready to take the fight to Winter. She's ready to do the same to Winter. She's not afraid of taking action on this brand, because of course Smackdown will be getting the first shot at the Women's Championship at that pay-per-view as well, meaning that it makes it all the more interesting as to what's going to take place there. Kick in the leg there of Summer Rae. Oh, what a kick by Summer! But no, if Summer Rae performs well here tonight, you know, I honestly think that she should be in contention perhaps for that #1 contender match for the Women's Championship. You know, she's able to even knock off Bayley. I perhaps think she should be seriously put in the match, or maybe even put in like the top 5 or something. Bayley there with a tornado DDT, though, on a Summer Rae. Trying to get the crowd cheering Sydney behind her as she goes to work on the long legs of Summer Rae and is already looking for the Bayley to belly. This will be a sudden and very quick victory if she nails it. Bayley to belly on Summer. Cover by Bayley for 1, 2, and no. Summer kicks out there a little bit, just like we saw in the last match. A little bit too early to be going for that move there, I think. Still a lot more to do with the Summer Rae. She, like I said, she is a strong talent. She can take a lot of punishment, and she can also drop to the floor perfectly vertical in approximately 0.5 seconds. Attacking the arm there is Summer Rae. Turns around. And butt bomb. Into a nasty submission there, wrenching the arms back, using her legs to her advantage. But Bayley with a very nice roll out of it there. Summer Rae looked for a kick. Bayley denies it. And neck breaker by the leader of the Hug Nation. Bayley now warmed up and in position. Jawbreaker. Not jawbreaker, neck crank. Alright, good job there by Bayley. Despite this, it seems as if the crowd's still on the side of Bayley, despite what we saw earlier on in the matchup. Bayley now going up top, doing a Macho Man impression. There's the elbow to Summer Rae. And now Bayley taking a moment to look at all her hugsters. And, well, that was about that. I mean, Summer Rae still unable to move. That elbow seems to seriously have damaged Summer Rae. Nice work there by the ref. There's that suplex of Bayley's, which usually is the lead into the Bayley to belly, but Bayley's hoping it's enough. Can Summer Rae continue to fight here? She can indeed. Kick out of 2 there. Not the strongest kick out, but she was able to fight out of it at least. Bayley, though, not going to deny the opportunity much longer for Summer Rae to hang on. Summer Rae tried, but Bayley coming out with a strong attitude and a strong message to the women's champion. And she gets the win over Summer Rae in emphatic fashion. Bayley, your winner here, jumped the gun to start the match off. And then shortly after jumping the gun is your winner. Winter, take note, I think. Bayley drafted over, of course, from Raw. And she is full of fire right now and is putting her hat. She's throwing her name in the hat. That's the phrase I was looking for. As to who Winter should fight first. Bayley wants it to be her. I imagine there are a lot of other women lined up for it as well. It wouldn't surprise me if Nia Jax wants another opportunity. Perhaps AJ Lee, who has also been signed to this brand. Sasha Banks. Those 4 women for sure can certainly put their name against Winter, and it'll be interesting to see what the SmackDown committee decide to do regarding that. But we're going to move on now to our next contest. Future Shock will be fully formed tonight as Razor Ramon takes on a new talent signed to SmackDown and under the tutelage of Kevin Owens. Future Shock is on its way, and that's up next. Well, here comes the opponent of the newest member of Friday Night SmackDown, that man being Razor Ramon. It's weird, I think, the fall that Razor Ramon and Diesel have taken in just such a short time. When you think about it like that, you know, you just got to put it into perspective. It was just months ago that those 2 men were on top of this universe, were on top of this industry, and now Razor Ramon is here taking on a debuting talent. But that's the kind of thing that happens, I assume, when you hold 2 brands hostage, 1 brand, for over a year. These things happen, but nevertheless, Razor Ramon looking to try and put that all behind him, as he has been doing for some time with this Razor Ramon persona. However, it may not get any easier for him here tonight, as he goes one-on-one with SmackDown's newest signee, a new member, Kevin Owens' Future Shock, of course. I'm interested to see what Kevin Owens claims is the future of SmackDown. Last week we saw Kota Ibushi. Tonight, we're going to lay eyes on Ricochet. Alright, I mean, formerly Prince Puma, didn't find the success, entered the Cruiserweight Classic. I think he got to the quarterfinals, though I'm not 100% sure because I don't remember a whole lot about that tournament, and I still am yet to finish that tournament off for you, but we'll gloss over that. Ricochet heads towards the ring here, so there we have it. Future Shock, Kevin Owens will lead Kota Ibushi and Ricochet, who he claims are the future of this brand. We saw Ibushi get a strong victory last week over Jake the Snake Roberts, and now Ricochet looks to do the same here against a former ECW and WWE Tag Team Champion in Razor Ramon. Of course, we can't doubt the ability of Razor Ramon either, because, you know, like I said just a few moments ago, he was a part of arguably the most dominant faction this universe has ever seen. He did his part in keeping that faction afloat for as long as it was. So therefore, Razor Ramon, a strong competitor for Ricochet to make his debut on Friday Night SmackDown against Prince Puma no more, now just Ricochet. Gets a Russian leg sweep. It looked as if Razor Ramon wanted to go right into the cover, but Ricochet decides otherwise. So there we go with Future Shock here. Kevin Owens leading them. We could see a faction that could potentially rival the Dangerous Alliance. You never know with under the let me try English again. Under the tutelage of a 4-time WWE champion that Kevin Owens is, anything can happen in that aspect. Ricochet, though, got to do his bit here to impress Kevin Owens, to make it seem like Kevin Owens made the right choice choosing Razor Ramon over anyone else. Sorry, Razor Ramon, Ricochet. I'm getting the names confused right now because they will start with R. I think this matchup is going to be a little bit more problematic for Ricochet compared to Ibushi's match against Jake Roberts last week, because look at the size difference in this one, not only in mass but in height as well. Razor dwarfs Ricochet by a good foot, I would argue. However, Ricochet does have that incredible aerial advantage, able to utilize some strength there though to dump Razor right on his stomach. Ricochet up top. Oh, corkscrew arm drag, nicely done there. Ricochet continuing on the offense here, kick in the gut. What will we see here? Ricochet now, flip powerbomb, takes him out very nicely, and has a little moment to recover, but Razor Ramon able to get up to his feet very early on there. Tilt-a-whirl DDT. Oh, you saw the way Razor Ramon's head spiked onto the mat, and Ricochet is hoping that's enough for the victory. He gets 2 from it, and that's about that. Razor Ramon forcing himself out of it. Nicely done there by Razor. Got to think, if Razor's able to knock off Ricochet here to spoil their debut on SmackDown for Ricochet, what kind of damage that does for Ricochet, but also how that can help the career and the revitalization of Razor Ramon. Razor now continuing the offense here on Ricochet, looking for his signature choke slam. What a counter by Ricochet, who quickly takes up to the top rope here. Clearly Ricochet has something in mind. He's going to take flight. Corkscrew moonsault by Ricochet. Absolutely phenomenal. He's up top once more. Will it be? Yes, it will. 630 splash by Ricochet. Absolutely incredible move. And Razor Ramon, not put down by it, forces himself out at 2. Look at the strength, though, of Ricochet to keep going here. Very, very interesting indeed to watch Ricochet fighting on here, but also very interesting to see Razor Ramon fighting on as he is. That 630 usually ends matches, but not in Ramon's case. He's still fighting here, and with this now going on the outside, Razor Ramon's still unable to get himself back in this matchup. Good thing about Kevin Owens being here as a manager is he can cheer on support for Ricochet, but you know he's not going to get involved in this matchup. Now trying to get the crowd on the side of Ricochet where he is. Oh! Missed whatever he was looking for there, and now Razor can capitalize. Razor Ramon with a strong opportunity here to take the lead in this one. Elbow on the top of the head, and Razor now looking for that choke slam and nails it on a Ricochet. And now this could be the final blow. The Razor's Edge. No, he's not going to go for the Razor's Edge. Northern Lights suplex. Holy shit! When did Razor Ramon learn that? Northern Lights suplex flipped into a brainbuster. Incredible agility there by the over 6-footer, but Ricochet out at 2. The near 7-footer is what I should have said for Scott Hall. Does not get the job done though, but an absolutely incredible feat there to get him back in the match and almost finishing off Ricochet. But it's not enough as Ricochet continues to fight on here, refusing to stay down for Razor Ramon, planting him there. What more does Ricochet have left in the tank here against Razor? How much more can he give? Oh, against the former tag team champion. Oh, Pele kick! That's what he can give! A giant Pele kick, flattening Razor Ramon out. And even after taking that incredible move by Razor Ramon, Ricochet feeling like one of his own. 630 splash! A replay of the rotation and a half by Ricochet. Absolutely drills it on a Razor, and this time it gets 2 and 3. Ricochet, your winner over Razor Ramon. But my goodness, did Razor Ramon fight to try and get that win there. This is the man we focus on right now. Congratulations to Ricochet. Makes his debut on Smackdown. Future Shock is now assembled. How will Ricochet and Kota Ibushi fare under the leadership of Kevin Owens? That is a question that I will leave up to you. And who knows? I've asked this question, but there may be a viewer interaction question that I will ask. Potentially, because the one in ECW got received really well, and I was very thankful for that. Obviously, with it being my show as well. Doubly thankful that you're paying attention to the A show. Nevertheless, there we go. Ricochet celebrates his win, and now we go into our next matchup, one-on-one between Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, and the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. As Mark Henry arrives onto the scene here for this intense matchup that is on its way. Mark Henry and Shinsuke Nakamura, two of the most dominant champions I think we've seen in the history of this universe. Mark Henry's reign as WWE Champion was a dominant one, to say the least, as was Shinsuke Nakamura's reign as World Heavyweight Champion. But now both of them here on the same brand, here fighting on the same show and the same night and all that kind of stuff. You just know that with the dominance that both men had in their title reigns and the dominance that the Dangerous Alliance continue to have as tag team champions, albeit in tag team matchups, as we've been seeing recently in singles matchups, it hasn't gone the way of the Dangerous Alliance, as we saw last week with Finn Bálor being victorious over Roman Reigns. Can the same happen tonight? Will Nakamura knock off Henry? I don't know, but we've seen how dominant both these guys can be as world champions. The only thing is, when they meet one-on-one in the ring, who is the more dominant competitor out of the two? A place already on their feet for the arrival of the man who made his SmackDown debut last week by defeating the WWE Champion, and the man who could even potentially be a #1 contender by the end of the night. Shinsuke Nakamura would like nothing more than to arrive on Friday Night SmackDown and wind up with an opportunity to go one-on-one with Bobby Fish for the WWE Championship. It is all potential to happen by the end of tonight. However, we just don't know if that is going to happen. If Nakamura is to lose you to Henry, will that damage his momentum heading forth towards potentially getting a shot at the WWE Championship? If Bobby Fish is to lose that open challenge later on tonight, will it mean that Nakamura will have to fight the winner of that to determine who the #1 contender is? It is all riding really on what happens in these next two matches, because for all we know, Nakamura within 2 weeks of being on the Friday Night SmackDown roster could enable himself to be the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. It has all the potential of taking place. Now, though, here tonight, we just look to see if Nakamura is going to be victorious over the world's strongest man. I certainly think he can do it. I mean, you look at Nakamura, you know what he can do within that ring. You know how incredible he is as a technical wrestler, how he's able to utilize his legs, really. That's what a lot of his offense comes from, of course, is his legs, and he's able to utilize them to cause incredible pain. However, Mark Henry is also, well, he's the inventor of the Hall of Pain, so it'll be interesting to see how both men can fight back against one another. Nakamura with a kind of an advantage because he's not going to rely upon a lot of he's not going to rely on a lot of grappling. He's just going to go in with strikes. And that is potential if he decides to start off with strikes as well. We never know with Nakamura. He always mixes up his game plan at the start of the match. Right now, though, he's taking a variety of chops and kicks to Mark Henry, but Mark Henry is just fighting them back at the start here. Henry going to look to power slam. Oh, thank you for that. Very appreciated. Running power slam there. Nice start there by Mark Henry, who now wrenches the neck of Nakamura slightly. Perhaps trying to annoy Nakamura early on, but Nakamura sends Henry down there, reversing that move into a clothesline. Here we go now. Shinsuke Nakamura loads up with a forearm, and he's going to hit up the top rope early on here. We see Nakamura fly from the second rope frequently. Not so often from the top rope, though. Nakamura up high. Oh, almost like a top rope beauty shot there. The move, of course, that he was defeated with at WrestleMania. Nakamura just utilized against Henry there. I don't think he 100% got all of it, but he certainly got enough to send Henry down. Henry, though, with a massive clothesline, takes Nakamura to the ground. Nakamura goes to the outside. Henry follows suit. Oh, good God almighty. Oh, okay. Nakamura. Yep. All right. Nakamura. Oh, that is strong style right there. Negotiating around on your knees temporarily. Only on SmackDown can you see that kind of action, apparently. Nakamura reversed by Henry, who gets a... Oh, look at these strikes right now to Nakamura. In a bit of trouble, and Nakamura just launched across the ring there with one hand by Nakamura. Mark Henry into the cover here. Shinsuke in a bit of trouble. Can he get out of this one early? Yes, he can. Forces the kick out at one. Keeps the matchup alive for him. But from the start right now, it is looking strong for Mark Henry. Shinsuke Nakamura quite in a bit of trouble here at the opening of this matchup. Camel clutch being stitched in here by Mark Henry. Practically just sitting on that back. Nakamura's got to try and get out of that one as quickly as possible. He does so, and he takes the legs away from Mark Henry. Nicely done there by Shinsuke, who continues to rely upon these strikes to make sure that Mark Henry stays down. Nakamura now, is he going to be able to do this? Suplex Henry? Yes, he is. Good suplex as well to the world's strongest man. Can Nakamura take an initiative right now? Can he gain an advantage from this? Can he turn the match back around in his favor? He's going to lift Mark Henry up on his shoulders almost with ease there as he nails the landslide down onto the world's strongest man. Cover on Henry here, hoping for the win, and can only get a 2 count. Irish whip into the corner once more. Goes Mark Henry, and just thumping kick into the leg there. Belly to belly suplex by Mark Henry into the cover, and a 2 count on the former World Heavyweight Champion there. Nakamura's first year within this universe was iconic, really. Won a Money in the Bank, won the World Heavyweight Championship, went on to only lose twice in the span of a year. He was only pinned twice, and that was just on Monday Night Raw. What can Nakamura do on SmackDown in his second year? Can he bring even more success to himself? Can he bring more success to SmackDown? Maybe so, but we'll tell what will happen as time goes on. Nakamura right now, nice form, across the face, Kinshasa. Oh, certainly looked as if he wanted a Kinshasa there. Mark Henry quick enough to dodge it. Fair play to him for being able to get out of the way there. Mark Henry now. Henry fired up. World's strongest splash by Henry. Paul Heyman ecstatic with it on the outside, and Nakamura responds by kicking out at the count of 1. Heyman acting calm on the outside right now. He has not gotten involved in this matchup yet. Perhaps hoping that he needs not, because Mark Henry is, you know, such a dominant man as he is, as he knocks Nakamura down there. Really didn't nail all of that clothesline, but certainly nailed enough to rattle the King of Strong Style, who responds with a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Fair play to Nakamura there for being able to negotiate his way really around Mark Henry. But again, Henry able to utilize a reversal, counter Nakamura, and once more it's another cover for Nakamura, and Nakamura, thankfully there for his sake, kicks out at 2 once more. Henry really been taking it to Nakamura here. The King of Strong Style in a lot of trouble. Certainly going to need to try and get himself back in this match, but it just kind of shows the dominance of Mark Henry. The talent, well, not really the talent, but just the prowess that this man demonstrates, you know, against a man who only lost twice in a year. And Nakamura looks like he may already be in trouble. It just looks as if Mark Henry has Nakamura's number in this matchup. Look at that, though. Nakamura with a variety of forearm shots there, sending down Mark Henry. Henry sent to the corner now, sent right next to Paul Heyman, who could find out at the end of this night whether or not his client, Bobby Fish, will be fighting Nakamura at SmackDown's next pay-per-view. Up and down for the slam, and the follow-up headbutt into the ribs. Nakamura really in a whole lot of trouble right now. Henry almost just toying with Nakamura right now and going to the legs of Nakamura. Uh-oh. Well, he might not be going to the legs anymore. He might be looking for that win. Might be looking for the world's strongest slam, but Nakamura has other plans for that. And again, though, Henry able to counter almost immediately after being struck with something. What a counter by Nakamura. Able to negotiate out of that. Kinshasa by the King of Strong Style. Caught Mark Henry square in the jaw with that one. Raised his leg up all the way. Cover here. Heyman trying to get the crowd on Henry's side. It doesn't work. And Shinsuke Nakamura is victorious. All it takes is one little reversal, one little slip up, and Shinsuke Nakamura is able to win the match. And now look at the attitude of Paul Heyman on the outside. Man, has that changed. Heyman now looking fairly miserable as he realizes that Nakamura, with just one move, can win a match. Will that be the case at SmackDown's next exclusive pay-per-view? If Nakamura is able to nail that Kinshasa on Bobby Fish, should he fight him at that pay-per-view, will that be it? Will this Kinshasa result in a new WWE champion and the end of the incredible reign of Bobby Fish? We'll find it on that night, but we'll find out right now, I think, if Bobby Fish is going to be fighting Shinsuke Nakamura, because up next, it's once again Bobby Fish's Open Challenge. Here he comes. The longest reigning world champion in the history of this universe, the longest reigning WWE champion there is to this day, Bobby Fish, who has been a dominant champion now for months, over a year really at this point, and the way you go look at it, only 2 months away. 3 months away, actually, my apologies for that. He's 3 months away from making history and becoming the first man to hold a championship for over a year in this universe. No one else has done it. The closest is the Shield with 355 days, but Bobby Fish is hitting a snag. He's starting to lose momentum. We saw it in that loss to Shinsuke Nakamura last week, and I don't want to see it happen again. But the question is, who from the Friday Night SmackDown roster? Oh, that's who's going to step up to the plate. Oh my, Bobby Fish said anyone who wasn't drafted away to other brands, anyone who stayed on Friday Night SmackDown, and CM Punk has stepped up to the plate. Punk, who picked up one of the biggest wins of his career at WrestleMania, finally putting his feud with himself and Austin Aries to bed. He defeated that man, and now CM Punk looks destined to try and win WWE Championship number 2. If Punk wins here tonight, this will put Shinsuke Nakamura's #1 contendership, I think, on hold. Nakamura would be in a bit of trouble when it comes to wanting to get that opportunity back. But nevertheless, CM Punk and Bobby Fish one-on-one. This was one of those dream matches that I wanted to happen one day, but here it is, happening in the main event of Friday Night Smackdown. Not at a SummerSlam, not at a Survivor Series, but here tonight in the main event. This is incredible. I can't believe I'm watching this. See no Paul Heyman at ringside. Bobby Fish thinks that he needs to do this on his own. He needs to prove how great he is to himself by himself. And CM Punk, meanwhile, getting off to not the best starts there. But he's fighting back early against Fish. You got to think backstage, Nakamura, just off his win over Mark Henry, is going to be watching this one, making sure to analyze Bobby Fish's strengths and weaknesses. Yes, he beat Fish last week, but you know, we've seen Fish lose in the past once or twice in a row and then still managed to walk out with that WWE Championship. Anything can happen when it comes to that man right there. Nice counter by Fish. Super kick into the gut. Follows it up. Misses that step of Enziguri. Allowing Punk to... cracking with a knee right in the face there. But Fish pulling out early reversals here. He is trying to fight back early on against Punk. He's trying to get an early advantage against him. Prove to Nakamura that last week was just a fluke, along with proving to everyone that he is the most dominant WWE champion there is. He is on top of his game and he can't be defeated. Went for that double foot stomp. Punk did a good job there to roll out of the way, but Fish able to stay on his feet. However, Punk trying to get some offense in here. CM Punk up in the air looking for some kind of suplex. Fish has none of it. Sends him down. And Bobby Fish now. Crossed that arm over so Punk couldn't fight out of it. And then proceeded to hit a lovely backbreaker there. And here we go. What an impressive move. We saw it earlier in the night from Razor Ramon. But it still is always impressive when Bobby Fish does it. That's what makes him such an incredible superstar. His ability to just glide into moves like that is out of this world. CM Punk, though, knee to the face and the Bulldog to follow up. Bobby Fish rolling outside of the ring for a moment to catch his breath. Or maybe to try and get an upper hand on CM Punk. They went downstairs attacking the leg of Punk. And Fish gets back into the ring in his own accord. Backing up slightly, allowing Punk back in there, but also getting a moment to catch his bearings to find out where he is. CM Punk now looking for another suplex here. Able to hold him up in midair. They get a bit of blood rushing into the skull. That'll affect Fish mentally. And Fish again, though, is going to go up to that top rope. He's looking to take flight here. He wants to go up high against CM Punk and misses that double foot stomp again. However, nails that Hurricanrana in response. Nice work so far by Fish. He is really trying to get this acrobatic thing going, though. He's constantly going to the top rope, but Punk is constantly getting that reversal down. CM Punk now, what does he have in mind? Another suplex? No, he twists it into a neck breaker. Bobby Fish in a bit of trouble early on. Moonsault. He didn't catch him, but he sure did get a kick in the face for his troubles there, did Fish. Over the top rope and to the outside. Punk now going to bring him back in, using the ropes as elevation and landing a stiff neck breaker. CM Punk, what will he look to do here? Looks for some sort of Irish whip. Bobby Fish having none of it. Went for a strike. Punk ducks under it. Rolls up the WWE champion. Will it be a win for CM Punk? No, it won't. It's a kick out at one. Fish rolls over into a cover of his own. Covering over Punk. Punk kicks out at one. Bridges out. Great back and forth between the two. And it ends in just a 1 count. Got him right in the gut there. did Bobby Fish. And Fish now loading it up. Brainbuster onto the knee. No, Punk counters it. Knees him in the head instead. CM Punk now with him up on his shoulders. Punk, go to sleep to the WWE Champion. Punk into the cover. Come on, ref. 1, 2, and no! Bobby Fish fights the shoulder up by the count of 2. Fish, though, currently looking like he can't fight back. No, never mind, he can. It looked like he was just putting on some kind of ruse, but Fish now, after being caught by that go to sleep, has got to try and fight back here. The crowd completely on the side of CM Punk in this one. But Bobby Fish doesn't care. Look at the exuberance and the cockiness that he still demonstrates, despite being hit with that go to sleep. Clotheslines now. 2 of them by Bobby Fish. Ducks under and into a gorgeous tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by the WWE Champion. Sets up CM Punk. Leaping knee. Countered by Punk into a roll-up. Roll-up on Fish. 1, 2, and oh! Kicked out just in time. Punk getting aggressive there with those kicks. Look at that. That is smart. Going to work on the leg there. Trying to take away the fish hook from Bobby Fish. And CM Punk also taking a moment to talk with the fans. Anaconda Vice. Anaconda Vice. Just sitched in out of thin air on the WWE Champion. Will Fish submit? Will he fight on? Erie's tapped out to this at WrestleMania. Will Bobby Fish tap out to it tonight? The answer is... oh, I actually don't know. I don't know how Bobby Fish is hanging in this for so long. Oh my God, Fish is out of it. How did he manage to stay in that for so long and then proceed to fight out of it? Absolutely incredible work there by Fish. And now all of a sudden, it's back in Bobby Fish's side. Brainbuster onto the knee. How does he do this? How does Bobby Fish fight back from every single scenario where it seems as if he's going to lose? The crowd want him to lose, and he fights back. Still. Punk countered there. Caught. Fish hook! The move that has won him so many matches. Will it win him against Punk here? There's 2. And oh, Punk gets the shoulder up at 2. My goodness, what a match this is. What a contest this is between both men. Refusing to let the other one get the win. Consistent back and forth reversals. And all because Bobby Fish wants to prove himself as a dominant champion. Punk with a reversal here off the top rope. Elbow drop across the jaw of Bobby Fish. But Fish is right back up to his feet and nails an exploding kick there. Fish with CM Punk grounded. He's going to go for that. He's going to hit the all-night suplex. No bridge because Fish is flipping over once more into the brainbuster. Beautiful work there by Bobby Fish. Who kicks CM Punk in the arm there, turns him over, camel clutch, perhaps should have locked that left arm of Punk's there. If Punk just reached out ever so slightly, he could reach the ropes. But Punk decides otherwise, cranks his way out of it. Great back and forth right now by both men, seriously saying it though. These two men now not letting the other, hit a game-changing move, and Punk there, while he nailed that enziguri, Fish retreats to the outside. Should have perhaps waited until Punk rolled outside of the ring before getting back in. Misses that exploder kick wildly. I have no idea what he was hoping for there. CM Punk. Underhook suplex. Single underhook brainbuster. And Punk going to go up top here. Punk, will he look for his signature elbow drop? Yes, he will. CM Punk doesn't get to hit it. Fish moved out of the way the moment Punk took flight. Could argue that Punk should have done a better job there. Trying to get himself back on, to land back on his feet, but he could have twisted an ankle. Oh, there's the knee by Fish. Bobby Fish nails the high knee. Gets countered though by Punk with whatever he was looking for. And CM Punk now. Oh, what a move. Cover on Fish. Cover on Fish. There's 2. And oh, again. Bobby Fish just out in the nick of time. Unable to reverse him there. back into momentum, maybe back in Bobby Fish's hands. I don't know. This match has just changed it so many times. You never know who truly is in control right now. Shinsuke Nakamura, though, watching backstage, has to be aware of the strengths and weaknesses of Bobby Fish right now. Perhaps even finding stuff that the normal person cannot find. That's the capability of Nakamura. He's able to read the emotions of someone. He's able to read so much about one person. This is good now by Fish. He is just going to work on all the core ligaments of Punk. Just trying to stop him from trying to get anything going, but Punk counters once more. But Fish counters right back. This is incredible just to see these two men fighting back and forth repeatedly. This is why this is a match that I was so anticipated to see, so hyped up to witness. Both men able to counter one another. Both men able to kick out of each other's moves. Both men able to fight out of submissions. CM Punk countered again and gets, a knee right in the head by Fish, who once more looks to take it to the top rope. Hadn't tried this for some time. Tries it again, and still Punk moves out of the way. Fish now, roll up by Fish, trying to finish off Punk here with a simple roll up, and he can't. It's a kick out of 2 by the 3-time world champion. CM Punk. That's one way to be able to fight back. Cracking the WWE champion in the head. And now Punk, belly to belly suplex onto Fish. Cover right after it. Not even a 1 count. How does Bobby Fish manage it? How does he kick out of those moves without even letting a count take place is beyond me. CM Punk now. Here we go. Look at this. Not going to be a submission due to the fact he's using the ropes, but it certainly is going to assist him. Fish able, though, to recover almost right away. And now Fish trying to go to work on the arm there. Never mind. Punk kicks him right in the gut. And now what will CM Punk look for? He turns around. Fish, knee in the head. Will he go for the bulldog? No, he won't. It's the clothesline by Punk. Sends Fish down, hoping it's enough to get the win. And again, Bobby Fish fights out almost as early as he's put into the pinfall predicament. Fish has fought so long in this matchup. He's fought so hard, and still he fights on, but CM Punk has him in almost every corner right now. Great counter there by Fish, who fights back once more. Uppercut to Punk. Look at these strikes now incoming from the WWE champion of nearly 300 days. But Punk places him back up on the top rope here. CM Punk now. What will he go for? Top rope Hurricanrana? Yes, it will be. Into the cover goes Punk, begging that it's enough to get the win. It's only enough for a 1 count. How much more do both these guys have left in them, and how much more do they have to give to secure a 3 count in this match? Fish kicks him away there. This is incredible to witness. Absolutely phenomenal. Fish rolls in. Leg lock on Punk. Trying to force a submission here on CM Punk. Punk had to witness Fish escaping the Anaconda Vice. Will Punk be able to escape this, though? Can Punk force his way out of the leg lock? Yes, he can. Kick right in the face of Bobby Fish, but he can't get up to his feet. Fish with the advantage. No, Punk was playing possum. Moves out of the way. Kick in the gut. DDT by Punk. CM Punk going to send Fish back into the turnbuckle here. Will he look for it once more? Will he go for that knee clothesline combination? Yes, he will. There's the knee. There's the clothesline. Where's the finishing blow, though? Where's the go to sleep? Where's the Anaconda Vice? There it is! There it is! Anaconda Vice! Anaconda Vice by Punk! Fish fought out of it once. Can he fight out of it a second time? Could Bobby Fish keep this matchup alive? Can he keep his hopes alive? No, he can't! Fish taps! Fish taps! Bobby Fish forced to submit to the Anaconda Vice, and CM Punk victorious over the WWE Champion. What a win for Punk. What does this mean, though, regarding the WWE Championship situation. That is, I think, what we all want to know right now. What does this mean? Punk and Nakamura have defeated him in the last 2 weeks. Fish looking at perhaps his weakest. And I have just received word right there that we have word. We have confirmation. Next week, as you're about to see in the graphic that'll pop up, next week's main event, Shinsuke Nakamura versus CM Punk. The winner fights Bobby Fish for the WWE Championship. What a main event that is going to be next week. Who is going to go in to that pay-per-view and fight Bobby Fish for the WWE Championship? That is what we're going to find out in our main event next week. That is going to be incredible. Do not miss Nakamura and Punk next week in the main event. That'll end this episode, Universe. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.